like a
Hey
plan.
everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMA session. We're excited to have 3Protocol back with us today to discuss their innovative project aimed at creating a network of autonomous and decentralized marketplaces using the blockchain technology. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Grant from the team. Grant, pleasure to have you back here with us again. If you can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and give us a bit of insight into your background experience.
Hey everyone, I am Grant. I am one of the co-founders of 3Protocol. I am currently in the COO seat, but one of the project founders, and have been with 3Protocol from the start, when actually it started off as Jobs 3, which my co-founder Louis and I started a few years ago now. We started off because we saw there was a bit of a gap in the recruitment market. Needed some decent Web3 talent, and couldn't find anything that we wanted out there. So we built a prototype Jobs 3, and then we thought, you know what? There is a lot more to this. We want to dig in. We want to find out more. We want to really push the technological boundaries, and that's what we see as 3Protocol today. So that's sort of how 3Protocol got started. Alongside what I do here, I've also been a university lecturer, teaching business and marketing at master's level. So really pleased to be here today. Really pleased to tell everyone more about 3Protocol, let you know some updates from the last couple of times we were here. It's always great to be part of USA Crypto because we are always welcomed with open arms. So yeah, pleasure to be back.
Appreciate that introduction there, Grant. Yeah, so just to recap, 3Protocol was the first project that was incubated by Tectum, and we all know Tectum, right? Great team. I mean, they're doing a heck of a job over there. So it's a very special project, But what's fascinating about your guys' project is that, what are you guys doing when you guys bringing these $1 billion industry into the Web3, right? I know you mentioned that you guys want to start out with the Jobs 3 first, which is a place where you can find employment right on the Web3. But you got the taxi, eBay, auto, and Uber. It's essentially kind of like Uber's there. You're talking about $1 billion industry that's already proven in a traditional market. I mean, this is very ambitious here, Grant.
Yeah, I mean there's no hiding from the fact that our roadmap is seriously ambitious, but the project is ambitious. I mean, why stop at disrupting sort of one place, one sector, like the jobs market that we're starting with, when you can do the same across lots of different sectors? And it's important to note that you mentioned some of the big Web2 names there. We're not looking to directly compete with those places that are already out there, those companies that already exist. Instead, what we're looking to do is provide a decentralized alternative that allows people to stay within the crypto ecosystem, use blockchain technology, and people who can access it. And this is where we're looking to build more financial inclusion, because people are going to be able to work who traditionally might be gate capped because they needed to be paid online. They need to be paid into a bank account, or they need to provide a centralized ID. No longer through 3Protocol technology will they have to do that. So we're opening up the jobs market alone to potentially billions of people who currently can't access digital commerce in the way that we expect them to. And so yeah, I'm not going to hide from the fact that we're being ambitious, but the tech that we're building is just the next level. It's incredible stuff, and it is going to be the foundation of each one of these decentralized marketplaces that we are building. So once we've got that code in place, the foundation code, the building blocks are there, then actually it's going to be relatively straightforward to build out the other platforms.
Correct. I agree. And I think that just inherently the nature of the blockchain, right? Once you lay the foundations, and I think to scale that up, like you said, it's going to be, pretty much pretty easy once you lay down the foundation there. But let's get back to the Jobs 3. So I do understand that Jobs 3, it is you guys focused right now, and I guess you can call it as almost like a marketplace, such as Upwork and Fiverr, except for us being decentralized. Now let's dive deep into that, Grant. What made you guys decide that Jobs 3 is going to be the first, I guess, the first of its, the full ecosystem that you guys are going to be launching? What is that important, and what did you see that what is missing in the market, and how can it benefit people on the Web3?
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, Jobs 3 is one of our main focuses at the moment, but I'll say it's one of our main focuses. It is the first decentralized marketplace that we're delivering, but it's by no means our sole focus. So we're focused on lots of other aspects of 3 protocol as well. Why did we start with Jobs 3? Well, it was our original MVP. It was the brainchild that sort of launched 3 protocol. And because we already had the idea in place, we already had the market research in place, we already sort of knew how it was going to work. It made sense to go with Jobs 3 as well. But that's just one of the reasons, I would say. The primary reason has got to be because once we are able to deliver a greater level of financial inclusion for people who currently can't access online part of the labor market, we're going to be able to onboard a huge number of people who might not even be into Web3. They might not even be into blockchain technology at all, but we're able to onboard them into our ecosystem, give them a really solid first experience of Web3 and blockchain technology, educate them on the space, and then help them and guide them on their way. And so once they are then earning in crypto as freelancers, or even as business owners, they're spending in crypto, it means that they can then begin to work on, begin to use our other marketplaces. So they've earned money in crypto, now they can go and begin to look at RWA transactions using our 3-bay model down the line. They can get a cab somewhere, they can order food delivery, and they can keep it all within that system. And that's got to be the primary reason why we're focused on Jobs 3, because it opens up the market to a much wider number of people.
Yeah, I think as the space evolve, I think you guys have positioned your guys this technology here and what you guys are building there. I think you guys have positioned yourself very well. I think it's going to be massive. So I do know that you guys are utilizing some sort of AI, artificial intelligence, to also part of the system. I guess to make the research, or to connect the employees, and the employer more efficiently. How are you guys doing that? Can we elaborate on that?
Yeah, great question. So the AI that we have got at 3 Protocol is not one that we have just sort of white labeled or sort of borrowed off someone else. It's genuinely been built from the ground up. It is a excuse me, it is a neural network AI. So without getting too technical for the listeners, it uses a combination of different AI style models. So we use BERT for our user queries. We use CNNs if people want to search with images. We use RNNs for matching products and services to people based on descriptions and reviews. The list goes on, but suffice it to say, it's a really sophisticated model that has not been seen in this context at all before. We call it the excuse me. We call it the procurement matching neural network AI. The reason why it's called the procurement matching is simply because it's going to connect buyers with sellers. It's going to connect buyers with products, and people will interact with it in the same way that you would interact with a language model. So you might come to Jobs 3, and where previously, let's say you went to Fiverr and Upwork, you had to type in front-end developer and just hope that you found what you were looking for. Maybe you could get a bit more specific. You might type React or something along those lines. That is not the best experience. You're reliant on people hitting the right keywords. You're reliant on the freelancer having used the right keywords in their bio. And if they haven't done that well, then you're missing out on the best people that are out there, potentially. With the procurement matching neural network AI, people are able to search in a prompt-based way. So they can send in whole job descriptions if they want to. They could type out, I'm looking for a front-end developer with skills in React. They should have a, I don't know, master's level accreditation, and they should be rated at least 4 stars. And you could type all of that out, a whole paragraph, and the neural network AI will interrogate all of the data that we have on freelancers. It will look at their reviews. It will look at their previous transactions on the platform. It will look at their history. It will look at their portfolio and pull all of this information together and present you with the top choices. Not only that, it will actually give you a short explanation of a few, let's say 100 words or so, that outlines why they're a good choice for you. So we're dramatically cutting down the amount of time that you're spending searching. No one says, I wish I could spend more time searching online for my next freelancer. Instead, we're going to be able to take a lot of that work out there for you. In this instance, on Jobs3, it's going to be like having your own personal recruiter sat there waiting for you.
Okay, so yeah, so it's designed to be more efficient, I guess, in general. Yeah, I think the Web3. I mean, especially the Jobs3 recruitment. I think that employment recruiting is a huge industry, and it is right now. Currently, right now, it's not as efficient, right? You have to spend a lot of time in trying to connect with the employer, etc. So with you guys, you can literally create a profile, right? And whatever you place in there, and you're using AI, and somehow using the AI technology, and you guys are matching, I guess, depending on what they put in the profile to the employee. I guess somehow it sort out the best matches for you. So you kind of get straight to the employers that you most fit for you, in a sense.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's going to work both ways. So while freelancers might post opportunities that gigs that they are able to complete. So you could go on there and say, hey, I'm a graphic designer. I will design a logo for you. Or I will create a website for you in React. You can obviously post those up, build up your portfolio. At the same time, clients can also post gigs saying that they are looking for someone. And then freelancers will be able to search for those gigs. They'll be able to look for those clients. And they'll be able to apply to them. So yeah, it's absolutely going to work both ways.
Awesome. All right. So you guys launched this project how long ago, Grant?
3 Protocol. Well, we started Jobs3 back in 2022. But we have been we turned into 3 Protocol, and we launched it near the start of the year, sort of towards the end of last year.
Towards the end of last year. And I know you guys, I mean, recently the market kind of took a turn, but you guys shot up pretty fast. I mean, you guys had an incredible launch. I think, if I remember correctly, it went up towards like 40 million around there, correct? The market cap?
Yeah, and a bit more. I think I seem to remember we topped out sort of 45, 47 mark.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that was incredible.
yeah,
So recently,
sorry, I interrupted you.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Grant.
No, I was going to say, yeah. We launched. We did indeed shoot up, and we have sort of come down a bit now. Show me some projects in the space that haven't. But we're pleased with how the market's sort of holding at the moment. We've not sort of dropped off the edge of a cliff at all. We've maintained a good level, and certainly recently, we've seen a huge influx of new members. We see new holders joining the project all the time.
Yeah, I'm actually we're actually investing in a project. Not only that, but we've been following your project as well. And looking at the chart at this level right now, you guys been consolidating at this level for quite some time now. So that tells me that it's pretty much the bottom here. And you guys are consistently building, especially your partnership. You guys been forming a lot of partnerships as well. Let's dive into that, Grant. Let's talk about some of the partnership that you guys had established recently. and how they're benefiting to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been really pleased with the partnerships that we've been able to find, been able to connect with. There have been some incredible names that we've reached out to, that we've been able to connect with. We are long-term partners now with projects like Dion, and Hash AI. We had a huge partnership with Creo Engine recently. Not only the partnership, but they have said that they want to integrate our ZKI3s into their platform, which means that they'll be one of the first projects to actually use our technology and integrate it into their ecosystem. So it's going to be used as a link to their sort of gamer IDs on Creo Engine. So it's absolutely incredible that that's coming to pass, and we can't wait to be able to complete that integration at some point in the future. We were also really excited recently. One of our most recent partners, I think it went through end of last week. It was the 23rd, was Marlin Protocol. Marlin Protocol is an incredible project. They do verifiable computing. So they've got these two different products. One is Calypso, which is like a ZKP generation marketplace. The other is called Oyster, and that's a T code processor. So when we look at Calypso, and that was one of the things that drew us towards Marlin, it's like a ZK proof marketplace. So it connects users, apps, even protocols that require ZK proofs, and it connects them with hardware providers who can actually generate them. This is like an amazing strategic partnership. We're really pleased to be sort of partnering with protocols who are delivering at the level that we want to, and we're sort of driving forward in a uniform, collaborative way to really bring this sort of next level of privacy and the future of digital commerce together. So yeah, these partnerships have been fantastic.
Yeah, I saw this. That's incredible. Now, one of the things that, with every marketplace out there, right? One of the biggest thing is dealing with disputes, right? How are you guys dealing with that, and also security side of it as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. Excuse me. Okay, two-part question. So I'll deal with disputes first. You're absolutely right. Disputes are going to be a major part of it, because in the traditional sense, and this is probably the primary reason why cryptocurrency is not, as it stands, a standard form of payment across the world. Why hasn't there been mass adoption? Well, traditionally, if you purchase something online, you use your card, you use your debit card, you use your credit card, there is an easy way for someone to follow up with you. If there's an issue, it's all biometrically KYC'd. They can go to your bank, they can find you. It's straightforward. However, crypto removes quite a lot of those. Okay, we have anonymity, we have privacy. People can say, yeah, sure, send over the money, and then I'll send over the access to your website that I've just built. And it never happens. There's no comeback, there's no recourse, there's no ability to refund, there's no ability to charge back. And that is a huge barrier to mass adoption. So we thought, okay, how can we do this? How can we build this? And that's where we started. And I will come back to disputes in a second. But this is where we knew that we needed the form of decentralized ID in the form of ZKI3s, which allow people to build their on-chain reputation based on exactly that, based on their reputation, based on their transactional history, and based on how they have acted in those transactions, to build up essentially like a trust rating, rather than relying on centralized ID. Okay, so that was one of the issues there. The other thing we thought was, okay, well, with all the best will in the world, sometimes transactions aren't going to go right. Something might happen. The work might not get delivered. Someone might need to pull out, whatever the issue might be. And so we have created, it's written in Rust, it's currently on Solana, a try-proof smart contract. Now, this works by having 3 signatories on a smart contract. The first one, buyer. Second one, seller. Everything goes well. Both parties sign the contract. Funds get released from the escrow that is the smart contract. Everything goes well. However, if there was a dispute, they would simply raise a dispute to our decentralized AI organization, which we have called the DAIO. The dispute is raised. They get to submit evidence, and then very quickly, the case is judged on, is arbitrated, and it is resolved quickly based on evidence. And so that means that disputes are not something that people need to be worried about. People don't need to be worried about the risk of fraud, because as long as they can share information and they're able to present evidence, then the money, the crypto, the funds will go to the right places.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. It seems like you guys had really, really worked out this important aspect of the ecosystem, right? The dispute, because I've in real life I've I've gone through a lot of disputes before through eBay, whether that's eBay or PayPal, etc. And the process is forever, right? It takes for a long time. So it seems like you guys have worked out a lot of things in place to make sure that's very efficient, which I think is really crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you also briefly touched on security aspect of it. So it's quite important to point out that we're not going to be custodians of people's funds. So people aren't going to transfer crypto to us and we'll look after it, because it's all held within the smart contract. It's all on chain. And so it's all on chain. It's all held within the smart contract, and it's all transparent for people to see.
See. I see. I think that's actually very important as well. Now, you mentioned that you guys are using ZK Road up there. What part of that are you using it for? Just out of curiosity, I know you touched on that, but I know that's a technology where you provide information, but without giving a full extent of information that you do not want to reveal. Now, what is that being used for in the contract?
Yeah, so that's not actually sort of a sort of written part into the contract. It actually represents the two parties who are transacting. So yeah, we're using so zero knowledge proof, ZKP, is essentially a way of being able to prove that you know a piece of information or you hold a piece of information without actually having to show that piece of information. That's the easiest way of explaining it. Our ZKI3s are the form of decentralized identification that we're building. It's essentially a way of people building an on-chain reputation based on their transactional-based relationships. How have you been? How have you been able to? How have you been to work with? What's your reputation like? Did you attempt to scam someone? Hopefully not. But it's essentially a form of ID which is minted by an individual. You don't need to provide any KYC. We then use it to send ZK Stark proofs, which is essentially whenever they want to collect a review or collect a reputation score. Whenever they engage in a transaction, they'll use the ZKI3 as their form of identifier, essentially. So it's based on ZK Stark technology, and it grows from there. You take we're taking a hash of your private key, and that then is represented as a public key that people can then see.
Yeah, I think that's actually incredible. That's incredible, and I can see definitely why you guys are using that ZK road up there. I think that's crucial. And I definitely see now the I guess the strategies that you guys are heading towards to, especially the decentralized ID, and I can definitely see how it carry into other sectors like the Uber Eats and other things that you guys are ultimately building out. Because I think that repetition is going to be very important, right? To do business in the Web3 there. But you guys have figured out the way how to, I guess, reveal yourself without really revealing yourself, right? Your identity, right? Which is actually kind of hard to explain, but I definitely know what you guys are trying to build over there. I think that's actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's absolutely worth digging into and worth exploring more. I mean, the idea of the ZKR3s is that it allows you to, they essentially represent private, instant, fraud resistant transactions for e-commerce, which means that we can shift the focus away from sort of biometric KYC based ID, and we can shift it more towards the reputation based trust that we think that e-commerce providers, e-commerce stores will feel comfortable with to be able to use cryptocurrency as a core method of transacting. You also said I think I heard you say ZK rollups a few times. It's worth
ZK
saying.
proof. Yeah.
Oh, ZK
Did I
proof.
say roll
Okay,
up?
cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah,
that means proof.
that's fine. Just because some people have mentioned rollups to us before, is where you potentially take elements of ZKs, you roll them into a collection, and then you put them all through the computing process at the same time. That still takes a phenomenal amount of GPU power. So the method that we're using, and I'm not going to dive into the details of it because I don't sit in the CTO seat. But what I would say is that the method that we're using will need a considerably smaller amount of computing and space. So yeah, we're not going down the ZK rollup route.
Sounds great. Yeah, I love the fact that you mentioned earlier there. You have that tri-signature smart contract structure. I mean, I don't really know the exact detail of how that's being operated, but it seems to me that's very efficient as far as from the transaction to the dispute, which is incredible. And now, have you guys tested out this process yet, Grant? Where is that going? Like when you mentioned on about the transaction and the dispute, how it kind of like moved to a different level, and AI step in and make that assessment and determine who's right and who's wrong, and I guess deal with the dispute accordingly. Have you guys tested out this I guess the whole structure there yet?
Yeah, so the try-proof smart contract is fully integrated into JobsFree already. It functions fantastically. I followed it all the way through. But what we've been doing some internal testing on the breakdown of the disputes. What we haven't done is integrated that into the platform yet. Essentially, the way it works is that there are sort of key components of the try-proof. So like as I said, you've got the seller, you've got the buyer, and you've got the DAO, the DAIO. They'll then use ZKP signups to be able to do like essentially like a zero knowledge proof signature. The way that it tends to go through is that if the seller is dissatisfied with the way that it's gone, let's say they are unhappy with the way that things have gone, let's say they don't respond in time, let's say that the buyer is dissatisfied, they can make a counter or a complaint offer initially. So it's sort of like saying, you know what, this work isn't worth what I paid it, but I would pay this amount. If the seller agrees to that, then both parties sign, and the dispute fees and payments are just processed in a standard way. If, however, the seller disagrees and says, well, hold on now, I actually did do everything that I asked, it's at that point that it's escalated to the DAO. And let's say that they're dissatisfied with the counteroffer, they escalate it, both parties submit evidence within 48 hours, the decision is made within 24. And that's how sort of quick and speedy it can go. Thanks to the AI element of it, we're hoping that it will speed up.
So essentially, you guys are using AI to resolve the dispute as much as you can. I mean, it seems like that's the objective there. If not, then it gets sent to the DAO where humans that's incorrect.
Kind of. So AI is not going to be responsible for actually resolving the DAO's resolving any of the disputes solely. There will always be a human element to it, as far as I'm aware right now. That means that the way that you actually gain a seat on our DAO is by holding 0.2% of the total supply. The reason being is because if you're a member of that DAO, then you earn a percentage of any dispute fees that go through the platform. And that's every transaction pays a dispute fee that is fully refundable unless it's escalated to dispute. If it's escalated to dispute, then that fee essentially is distributed among DAO members so that they earn a percentage for being part of that transaction dispute.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that you guys have put a lot of emphasis, a lot of, I guess, focus on making sure that I think the dispute aspect of it is going to be run smoothly. I think that's going to be really, really important, especially with any sort of marketplace, right, on Web3. I think that's going to be huge. But it seems that you guys are really working on that and making sure that it will be really, really smooth. So I'm actually really glad to hear that, because I think that's going to be, like I said, I deal with a lot of disputes in real life. I have a business too, and vice versa. When I buy products, it's a mess. It's a big mess. Sometimes it takes months and months just to get through a dispute, which is crazy. So I think having an efficient way to deal with this is going to be really important.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it would be foolish of us to go into this thinking that every transaction that we facilitate is going to go completely smoothly. So you have to have a robust dispute system for people to be able to feel confident and willing to use it, because they want to be able to feel secure, and that's a really important part of everything that we're building.
Exactly. Now, I want to speak on to the side to invest a bit here. You guys are building some of the biggest industry, like I said earlier, out there on the web. I mean, when you're talking about Web2, you're talking about billions and billions of dollars industries here. So how are you guys generating revenue, and how does that being kicked back, whether that's to investors or the ecosystem?
Yeah, of course. So there's a few different answers to that question, a few different facets. So the first one is going to be through platform fees. So on each of the platforms, we're going to be charging a platform fee that is going to be competitive or less than industry standard. And it's the idea is that people who hold the 3 token, who transact using the 3 token, actually gain a discount on those fees as well. Those fees will then go into revenue generation for the platform, but also I believe the figure is 40% of the platform fees is going back to people who are currently staking and stakers of our token. Talking of staking, we currently have a staking pool open with UNCX. We as we talk, we've got nearly 3 million currently staked, 2.88 million, and that's with an APR of 32.4%. So people can stake for I believe it's 1, 2, and 3 months. And they'll gain sort of an increasing reward as they go. It's fantastic to see people staking, people sort of backing the platform, and themselves having a genuine way of sort of building a passive income and increasing their stake in 3 protocol. Like, we're finding that the people who are staking, who are talking about staking, are those who really believe in the platform, really want to see the benefits of it, and therefore are looking to accumulate as much of the token as possible, so that they can sort of reap the rewards as we grow and as the ecosystem expands.
Okay, awesome, and I love the fact that it's actually you guys are actually gonna have like actual revenue stream and external revenue stream, right? I mean, I've run to a lot of different projects out there that they are relying on the taxes to fund their staking, which is not sustainable. So this is actually actual revenue streams that you guys are gonna be having a percent dedicated to the stakers, which is how it should be. And I'm glad that you said 40%.
Yeah, that's right. 40% going off the fees going back to stakers. I mean, we have to sort of maintain. We are a business at the end of the day, therefore we have to maintain a revenue model. So alongside platform fees, obviously there'll be down the line there'll be advertising space on platforms. People on platforms like Jobs3 and on 3Bay, they'll also be able to pay for premium listings, like so that your listings are highlighted or your profile's highlighted. Those type of revenue models will also be baked into the platform and be ways for us to generate revenue. So we're not reliant on taxes at all because we have no taxes on our token whatsoever.
Beautiful. I like that. Like you just mentioned that there are different strategies to generate revenue later once the foundations is laid, like you mentioned there. If a person wants to highlight their profile, etc. So I think that's actually a great idea. Now you said the staking is on UNX. Is that Unicrypt there, Grant, or?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, UNTX, what used to be Unicrypt.
Okay, yeah, Unicrypt. They've been around for a long time, a very long time. I have not heard of them for a while. All right, so that was good, Grant. So right now it looks like you guys. So I mean, like you mentioned that you guys are focused on different aspects within the ecosystem, but Jobs3 is going to be the first platform that's going to be released here very soon, correct?
That is absolutely right. So we've been in beta for a while. We have had loads of feedback. We have gone and talked with the community a lot, talked with our testers, and made a lot of changes, squashed a lot of bugs. But yeah, we are almost ready to be able to sort of publicly release it. It is right around the corner, so we are genuinely very excited about that.
Awesome. Now, Jobs3 released. Now, you guys trying to have the eBay sort of on the Web3, the Uber Eats. What's next after the Jobs3? Can you speak on that yet, or?
Yeah. So, excuse me, got a real cough tonight. After Jobs3, well, initially at the moment we're gonna continue our focus on Jobs3 once we go public, because there's another side to the platform we want to expand on. We want to ensure that this platform's absolutely working. We will also be continuing to work on the ZK side of the platform, so our ZKI3s. They will continue to be developed. One of the things that I personally am really excited on, really bullish on, is 3Pay. So I don't know if you heard of 3Pay, but 3Pay is essentially our payment gateway solution. So I've mentioned a lot of digital commerce providers. There are lots of them out there who would be really willing to take cryptocurrency as an online form of payment, but they don't feel like they're in the right position for it because they're worried about refunds, they're worried about everything that I've talked about so far. So one of the things we're looking at doing, we've got the technology to do it. We just need to wrap it up in a way where people can easily use it. Now, not all of these store owners will want to receive cryptocurrency as payment, but they will want people to be able to pay in it. So that means we're going to need to provide on-ramping and off-ramping services, and we're already in talks with both of those. We've actually got an on-ramper pretty much lined up, and that means that people are going to be able to integrate 3Protocols systems across anywhere where you see Google Pay, Apple Pay, Shopify payments, anywhere where you see these type of payment gateways. I'm looking forward to the time where you can see 3Protocol alongside it, and 3Pay is going to be the solution to that. So yeah, that's
Very
what's going
nice. Okay. Awesome. Now let's put it in perspective, Grant. I know that the staffing and recruiting industry is huge. What is that? Do you know the I guess the size of that as far as the valuation of industry? How big is the industry? Do you have any idea how big the industry is? Because I know that I do have a bunch of friends actually in the recruiting business, uh, and it's huge. It's huge, and he's making a lot of money off this. You know the I guess the market size of the industry, just for the staffing and recruiting.
Yeah, so there are a few different bits that I can talk on there. So I know that in terms of the amount of freelancers, there are currently 4.2 million global users of Fiverr. There's 18 million freelancers on Upwork. There's 5 million clients there, and there's a huge amount of transactions that go through that. It's not even just the amount of freelancer and client work as well. I was talking to one of our advisors who's going to be helping us with the with connecting with Web2 businesses and onboarding them onto the long-term employer-employee side of things on Jobs3. And he's based in the UK, and in the UK alone, there's a market of recruiters. The amount of fees that recruitment platforms alone in the UK take is about £470 million a year. And yeah, that's just in one country. And frankly, like, if we are able to bring some of that revenue and bring some of those people to come across and work in crypto and pay in crypto, then we're certainly looking forward to that.
That is incredible. Why are you actually speaking about the numbers there, and I just type in Google really fast here in regarding to the U.S. market, and I just put how big is the recruiting industry just the U.S. alone, and it says the market size measured by revenue, the employment and recruiting agency industries was 47 billion in 2024 or 23. 47 billion. That is insane. Man, wow, that is almost unreal. Um, yeah, even if you guys can capture a percent of that, that is incredible.
Exactly, and that's what people have been saying is that, like, people say, "Wow, are you really looking to take that?" And we say, "Well, we're not looking to take all of it. We're not going to be greedy, and we're not expecting to be able to sort of disrupt the entire market in one fell swoop. That would be foolhardy." But as you say, a percent, half a percent, even a fewer percent, more than happy to do more than happy to do that. And that's the whole business model. That's why we're pushing towards it, because the market is there, the revenue is there to be generated, and we want to be able to provide this decentralized alternative. We want to be able to facilitate it. Yes, we're going to looking to onboard people from Web2 who are already in that space, already spending the money, but there's this huge untapped group of people who are crying out to be able to work online but simply can't. And we want to be able to work with them too. And that's where we're building this more financially inclusive set of tools that sort of bring people closer together.
Right. And I think, as every entrepreneur, we know that finding the right employee is the most crucial aspect of every single business, right? Finding the right talent for your business is crucial. And it's hard to do, right? It's actually hard to do. One of the biggest problem with every business is employees, having the right employee in place. And that's the reason why companies are willing to pay a lot of money just to find the right talent, vice versa, right? You have people seeking to work for the best company out there, but you just don't know where to begin. So I think you guys are solving that. I did not believe, I did not think that's a $47 billion industry in US, which is crazy. Well, I know that I have a friend. He actually has this company called Inclusion and Diversity something. But they're a recruiting agency, and he's making a lot of money. And I know a few people. It is a big industry out there. So yeah, I had no idea how big it is, but yeah, like you mentioned there, Grant, even if a small percent of it, it's that's gonna make the stakers very happy there, huh?
100%. And I mean, it will also deliver for the long term. Like we say, we're building for the long term. We want to be here for the entire of the rest of the future. We want to have three protocols a baseline that people come to rely on, that people want to put most of their employment transactions through it. I mean, no one says, God, I wish I could pay that recruiter some more money. I mean, it's a huge, huge amount. And you're right. This is why recruitment is so expensive, because people are willing to pay to get the right people through their doors. And if they are able to do that in a way which is quicker, more cost efficient, and in a way where they are able to do it in their own time, and we can provide that, then 100%. And that's the thought process behind Jaws 3.
It's awesome, and I think you guys have positioned yourself very well. As the crypto markets continue to evolve, right? Um, I think this election here, Trump, he's advocating for crypto. If he wins, he's gonna fight Gary Gensler. He says he's gonna make the U.S. #1 spot for crypto. So I think that's a huge step, right, for I guess a former president to say that, but also could be the next president here also to say that as well. And as I know, I don't know any other recruiting agency like you guys. This is the first I've heard of it. Maybe there's other ones out there I'm not aware of, but I think this is huge, and I think you guys are doing something that I like to see succeed in this industry. But what's fascinating about this is that when I actually analyze what your business model right here, right, is that this is not new. The idea is not new. It has been proven in the Web 2 already, right? So it's not something that we know that there, this is huge and there's a lot of money involved, but it has proven. So you guys just simply just taking this to the Web 3. Is that pretty much the right way to say it there, Ren?
I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, we are using yes, we're using like Web 2 models and Web 2 ideas. But I think when the technology comes into play, when we're able to deliver everything on the blockchain and we're able to use this blockchain technology, then it becomes almost incomparable to what exists. And so the business model is different. The business model changes. You don't have users who have genuine stakes in these in the Web 2 recruitment models. You instead here we're held accountable by people who purchase our token, people who want to be part of the ecosystem, people who are on our DAO, and that's going to be the major difference, is that we are building a genuinely decentralized alternative to the Web 2 centralized ways. Yes, on the face of it, for lots of the individual users, it might feel like they're just using a fairly normal sort of centralized platform, but that's where we're looking to sort of onboard people and make them feel safe and secure, so that they're not thinking, okay, I'm dealing in crypto here. It might be I don't really know much about crypto. Who knows what it'll be like? Instead, we're just going to make it as seamless and as straightforward as possible.
And I agree. And I think the Web3 decentralized is the way to go. The idea may be similar, but I think the technicalities behind it are way different. And I believe wholeheartedly in the Web3 and decentralization. So that's awesome. Sounds good, Grant. I think we cover pretty much everything. Have we missed anything?
You know what? We've covered a lot of ground. I think we're good.
Sounds good. Now, what time is it over there for you, Grant?
It's coming up to 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. It's not that bad.
No, it's not crazy late. I'm going to eat at some point.
Sounds good. All right. So, guys, look at the chart right now. I mean, I wish I had a bot. Bought at this level. It's been consolidating, but I think this project is. I think the idea behind it, the people behind it, is incredible. If you guys not have checked out the team, check out the LinkedIn. I think they have a very credible team. You guys have assembled an amazing team there, and I think I love the ambition of it. To me, maybe the technicalities are different, but I think the idea that's proven in Web 2, on the Web 2 already, this can potentially be billions and billions. I mean, you're talking about the recruitment and staffing only. I did not realize the $47 billion industry in US alone. And when you add it to the eBay, the Uber Eat, the 3-bed that they're building now, these are billions of dollars industries. So I like that. I think there's a lot of upside into your investment there, and that's why I think this team will eventually be able to implement these strategies once they lay down the foundation. And I'll be looking forward to see the job 3 release there, Grant. And do we have an idea or I guess tentative date when you think that will be?
Sorry, I lost my unmute button there. I'm not going to give you an exact date, but what I will say is that we're looking to do public launch, hopefully within the next week or two. But you know what? I will personally come into USA Crypto and give you guys the heads up.
That is awesome. Wow. So next week or two, man. So it's almost here, huh? Very exciting.
It's almost here. I have been personally testing a significant amount of it for a lot of time, and I mean our devs. I've got to put my hands up to them. These guys have been pulling shifts. They have been working hard. They've been putting up with me finding bugs and getting into the real detail of it. But they're amazing. They're an incredible team. They're working incredibly hard, and yeah, I'm super pumped to be able to share it with everyone.
Very interesting. So let me ask you this, Grant. Okay, so let's say we're launching a project, right? And we are looking for talents, and we all know that being an entrepreneur, every business that you do, having the right people in the project or whatever business you're building is very crucial. It's the most crucial thing in every business. So let's, for example, a developer launching a project in crypto right now, and let's say he's looking for whether that's a graphic designer, whether that's a contract developer. I mean, they can all use your platform to advertise that, right? To recruit people, correct? Or vice versa, correct?
Yep, absolutely. So you could do it different ways. You could be the project. You could go to the platform. You could post a number of different job adverts. You could say, yep, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, and wait for people to apply. Or you go there and you start searching for freelancers. You start searching for the best talent who are out there and you reach out to them. You can do it in whichever way you choose. And you're right, pretty much every single section. One of the things that we are considering doing and looking at implementing down the line a little bit is is going to be like a founder's corner, a founder's lounge, where people who are starting projects are going to be able to come onto Jobs3 and find everything that they need, almost like a one-stop shop, where we will be able to sort of point them in the right direction and say, hey, look, you're starting a new project. Here are the things that you're going to need. You're going to need this, 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 and this. And here are the best guys for it. And we'll connect you to them. And it's just going to be able to make starting a project so much simpler.
Okay, that's incredible. Now, and you mentioned this earlier. This is not only strictly for the Web3 or crypto space only, right? Like let's say if I was in the Web2 right now, let's say I own a business like a brick and mortar store, whatever, whether it's technology company, whatever. Could I also use your platform to recruit people from the Web2 as well?
Anyone is able to create a profile completely for free. They don't need any form of KYC. They don't need any identification. So yeah, absolutely. If a Web2 freelancer has come to our platform and created a profile, of course you can hire them. Of course you can work with them. It's up to you. You can message people through the platform. So it means that you're able to reach out to them, ask them about their experience. And let's not forget that just because they're in Web2, they might have the skills that you want. And when you search using the neural network AI, it'll connect you with them if it thinks that they're a good match.
Mm, mm. Okay, sorry, I thought we are gonna end this AMA, but one last question here. So this is actually getting kind of really interesting. That I think you guys have positioned yourself very well here. Now, as far as we know that I know, here you are doing an AMA with us and raising awareness to the platform, etc. Now that what are the marketing strategies? Because having a great platform like this is actually one thing, but another thing is also to let people know that hey, we have an amazing protocol here, that you have employers and looking for the right candidates, vice versa. What are you guys doing out there as far as marketing, whether that's Web 2 or Web 3? Or what's
Yeah,
the
great
plan?
question. Great question. So, the real marketing push for Jobs Free is going to be kicking off very shortly. There are two different sides to it. So, finding and acquiring the buyers, the actual clients, the people who are going to be purchasing. That's going to take traditional sort of advertising and word of mouth and reaching out to people and connecting with major employers and networking with projects and just simply sharing the name of Jobs Free, helping them with the onboarding strategy, showing them how the platform works. The freelancer side of things, the people who are selling their services, and this also applies to the clients as well. We're going to be launching a robust referral scheme, and this is where we see the majority of our users coming in. Anyone will be able to get a referral code link. We're not sure exactly the nuances of it yet, but they'll receive the code or the link, and they'll be able to share that, and then they will be able to earn for life a percentage of any fees paid by the person that they refer. So let's say I refer you to Jobs Free, and you make a major recruitment, and let's say you spend, I don't know, over the year you spend $2,500 on fees, which is perfectly normal. Let's say you put 25 grand's worth of work through, you might spend $2,500 on fees. I, just simply for referring you, would receive $250 or $253, whichever you decide to transact in. That is for the life of that freelancer or that client. So imagine that you manage to onboard, you manage to get your link to 100, 200 good freelancers. There's genuine opportunity to build up quite a substantial form of passive income if the people you refer are genuine freelancers who want to work on the platform. And that's how we can see this exploding pretty quickly.
I love it. I love it. I think there's a lot of incentive there. And yeah, I mean, referral, that's huge. I love it. All right, guys. Now, as far as centralized goes, you guys also have listed on Mexi and Biglessy as well. Did the just market cap just shot up recently or something? Because let me see here. Okay, yeah. So I mean, it's still been floating around this area. You guys heard it, guys. So the platform will be launching in a week or two here, which is incredible. And I love the chart. If you guys are looking for, I mean, not financial advice, but I mean, this is the level here that I don't think is going to go any lower. I think the chart shows that. But do your research. With that being said, Grant, thank you so much for being here. Again, I think this is you guys' third time here, and a great presentation. You articulate yourself very well, and I very much look forward to you guys, your work, and I just want to see a platform like this succeed, because I think what are you guys doing right now is incredible, and I think you guys are positioning yourself very well, and these are the industries are not talking about billions of dollar industry, and I love that. As an investor, I love that. But I think you guys have the knowledge and the team to back it up, right? I've seen a lot of projects coming through here, and they like to implement, some of these amazing ideas, but I don't think they have the right team to do it, and I think you guys really do. So thank you again, and I look forward to our next AMA.
Hey, Seattle, I really appreciate your time. Fantastic hosting. It just felt like we've just had a really nice conversation. So, yeah, I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure coming back to USA Crypto. No doubt we will hook up for a fourth one in the not too distant future. But to everyone in USA Crypto, everyone who's listening, come over to our Telegram, please. Come over and say hi. Come over and drop in. Let us know that you were listening. Let us know that you're here, and drop any questions that you've got. Both myself and the mod team will happily answer them. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys be part of our community moving forward.
Yeah, sounds good. I know that there's a lot of questions in here, but I'll tell you what, the grant is going to like around 11 p.m. already, so we're not gonna hold them any longer. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pin their TG, right, and join their TG. Give a feedback on the AMA, right? Just give a feedback on the AMA. Do not spam the room. And one of us, or Mike or somebody, Johnny, will go over there and pick like a $10 winner just for the fun of it. But go there, give a feedback, and ask your questions over there as well if you have any questions. So thank you so much again, Grant, and I hope you sleep well, and I'll catch you on the next one.
I love that. Thank you very much. My mod team, I can see them. They're going to send me some messages now, like, what's going on? But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. See ya. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up, and I think that was a great presentation. And I did not realize that it actually launched the platform within a year. I mean, within a week or two here. So actually very exciting. Staff recruiting, guys. I personally know a few friends that actually have a recruiting and staffing agency. It's a big industry in US. So if they're implemented the way he spoke on, efficient and just streamline the whole process for people to look for jobs, vice versa, I think they position themselves very well in the space. But I love the fact that they're also not just stopping there, right? Building out the eBay, the Uber, the Bay 3 you mentioned there. So these are billion of dollars industries. So I like that. I like that as an investor, right? I like ambition. You gotta think big, right? And that's what they're doing over there. But just for the fun of it, guys, we're not gonna do any. I'm just gonna award a listener here. So I'm just scroll down randomly here and pick a winner. Let's see here. Blazing Mysterious. So we like to award a listener. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy your username here. But for the fun of it, also, guys, I'm gonna open up the room, right? I'm not sure how many listeners we have here, but just 1 to 200, 5 guesses only. Just 5 random number, right? We're gonna pick a random number for another $15 or $10 winner. But I'm gonna also post a TG. Very important. Go there and give a feedback on the AMA. Okay. Do not spam the room with a bunch of stickers, stuff like that, though. Just an honest feedback. Okay. And we will go there and award a winner over there as well. I'll have Johnny or one of our mods go there and pick a winner. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.